Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Unfiltered. You know who we all are. I know normally I sound enthusiastic and happy. However, I thought we was through with retardedness, especially in our community. But apparently the dumbness is going across the board. Y'all know who we are, so let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the least of these, and then I'm going to work my way up. Question number one. Is it okay to ask your child for a charger for your sex toy?
Are you serious?
I promise this is a real live question that was asked on Instagram.
I mean,
I'm
ask for a
you
charger.
for social media.
It's okay to ask for a charger, but don't be too specific.
Save some of the mystery.
Right. You can just say, "Hey, can I borrow your charger?" and left it at that.
Whew. Hon, you got something you want to add to that?
I wouldn't even ask my kid to use the charger for that purpose.
Thank you.
Like, if I can't keep my own equipment charged, that's a problem that I need to work out within the company that I bought it from.
Whew. Question number two. Should we prevent intimacy in nursing homes?
You can't. It's against the law.
Right.
Unless they're dementia. Because dementia cannot consent. But if they are not dementia, you cannot stop that.
Okay.
You sometimes have husband and wives that are, resident at the nursing home. So, yeah.
Yep. And not even that. It would be nice to try to get a hold of it, since considering a lot of our STD rates are high in facilities, but we can't do nothing about that. That's their rights to still be freaky.
Okie
So
dokie.
you mean tell me you're gonna deny the elderly, the dementia? They're wow. Okay.
Because they cannot legally consent. They may say yes, and then
they all dementia. They probably don't even know what's going on anyway.
That's what I'm saying. But then they could turn around and scream the R word, and the facility will be liable for that.
Be like, was it good for you? I don't remember. Who are you?
Y'all are special.
What is this between my legs?
You know what? Moving right it on. Should women take money from someone that's not their spouse or family?
Hell no.
Nope. If you are in a relationship with somebody, no.
I agree.
All right. Like I said, I did not come up with these. This is the stuff that's being asked.
Yeah, if you can't provide for the person that you in a relationship with, then it sounds like that person need to move on.
Okay. Next question. Do women set themselves up?
For what?
Right.
Okay. A little more in detail. Considering the area or the world that we live in, let's say rape or assaulted, whichever one you want to put there.
In some cases, yeah. Being out in these bars and clubs and not being aware of your surroundings.
And especially the way you dress.
Exactly. You get inebriated and you out here half naked and you just not alert and
Right.
yeah.
Okay, which we might as well just jump into the question of the hour. Coochie cutter shorts, or as I like to refer to them as draws or panties. These ain't even Daisy Dukes. Are they disrespectful?
Very.
Would you like to elaborate, bro?
It's just it's degrading and disrespectful because come on, you're not leaving anything to the imagination, and that's how you want to carry yourself as a young lady. No, no, that's unacceptable.
Ladies?
Well, to me, somebody walking around in Daisy, I mean, it's like you can wear shorts that flatter your frame and everything like that, but when you have butt cheeks hanging out and all this other stuff or whatever, you're presenting yourself in a bad light, because basically, to me, from my standpoint, is you're advertising, which clearly states, hey, you giving it away with a double coupon.
Mm.
And the craziest part about it is a lot of these people that are wearing this stuff, let's keep it real, they unkept. Them shorts probably smell like they had 6 months worth of wear.
I'm done.
And you up here advertising funky coochie. Who wanted? Who? No.
Right.
At the end of the day, if all you gonna put on is enough fabric to cover your hoop nanny, I'm gonna need for you to go sit on somebody's black couch and find out where your mama and daddy failed you.
Speaking of which, part 2 to this question. Like I said, I did not come up with this stuff. This is stuff that I've seen over the past few weeks.
Okay, that's cool.
Is it okay? Your child is in school. You go to pick them up to wear coochie cutter shorts and basically a bra, and you know that you are of round shape and top heavy.
Shouldn't be wearing that at all.
Especially not the school.
Especially not up here embarrassing, especially when you talking about kids and adolescents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the worst thing you can do is to be a parent with body-yaddy. And let's put it out here because it's really upsetting for little boys.
Hello.
When you up here dressing half naked and you going to pick your son up for a football game and he up here having to fight his friends because they up here you done became locker room gossip.
Oh, wow.
About how sexy you are and all this other stuff, or your friends getting they stiff on to your mama. That's sick.
Very.
And it's like a lot of women don't think about that. As a matter of fact, I had a quote-unquote friend who took her son to a mother...
Stop calling that woman your friend.
I said quote-unquote. To a mother-son dance, okay? Her outfit consists of barely covering anything, and her tata's about to fall out her dress.
Oh, she wanted attention.
Pretty much.
This is a whole married woman. Let's put that out there.
Ooh.
With going to her elementary son's school dance. And she literally crouched down to take a picture and had to cover her chest to keep her boobs from falling out her dress.
Well, her husband has no backbone because there's no way on God's green earth you walking out my house, our home rather. Yeah, no.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up, big brother.
Representing my son like that?
I'm glad my big brother brought it up because that was dead where I was headed. Apparently, this is a whole argument on social media that has been going on for a little more than a year. Do men have the right to tell their wives or girlfriends what to wear?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, because the female...
Of course, now I'm going to throw the dog in the bone here and say it's about how you say it. Because ultimately, you're not my daddy. That's sick. But if you approach me,
but you carry his name, and you're under his protection.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But when I say that, you have a lot of males that get very aggressive. One thing about my husband, I will ask him, babe, do this look right? Or can you see my underwear through X, Y, and Z? If he tells me, babe, nope, I can see your underwear, or I'm not comfortable with that, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to change. Now, if you yelling and screaming and cussing at me, and you ain't even approached me with an intelligent conversation, then that's a whole nother ball. But if you simply say to me, that's not going to work, I'm going to respect you enough to change. One, because you respected me enough to bring it to me, because you're not going to have me going out here looking any old kind of way. The same way I'm not going to have you out here looking any old kind of way. So I think a lot of that is lack of respect in the woman's part for herself, because you thought this was a good idea. Lack of respect for your partner because you thought this was a good idea, and mutual lack of respect because neither one of y'all know how to talk to each other.
Sis, bro, you want to add?
She said everything I was thinking.
Okay, well, here goes the B clause, flip side, the woman's side. According to some of the comments on this retarded post, majority of the women stated, again, that it don't matter how it is said, that man is not their daddy, and they can't tell him what to do, and they should be able to wear whatever they want to wear, how they want to wear it.
Well, take your daddy's last name back and get out my house.
Thank you.
Because
if that's how you feel, then guess what? We don't need to be together.
Exactly. If you feel like as a grown adult, I can't come to you and say, and that's not even just in relationships. Do you know how many times I done pull friends to the side, like, baby, that ain't working.
Exactly.
And the kind of friendships I carry, they be like, oh, what's wrong with it? Here's and I'm going to make Superman's daddy crack up. I used to have a friend, and her skin complexion allowed her to practically wear almost any color hair she wanted to wear. Very beautiful young lady, okay? But one particular day, she came to work, and the color made her look like McGruff the dog. Literally. It was nothing appealing about that situation. So respectfully, I said, hey, what made you choose that color? She says, I just walked in the hair store and thought it was cute. I said, oh, okay. Her follow-up was, why? Is there something wrong with it? I said, that's not really a becoming color for you.
You have a way of calling somebody looking stupid without really saying they look stupid.
Because again, what did I just say? It's all about how you say stuff.
Yeah.
Well, she took it up under advisement because the next day she came, that color wasn't in her head. It wasn't being funny, but she literally looked like McGruff the dog with that color.
I'm done.
Now, did I say that to her? No. I just gave a question that made her rethink her thoughts.
Exactly. When all is said and done, it's about presentation. Mm-hmm. It's about how you approach said situation. And again, we go back to respect.
Right.
Yep.
Now, in all honesty, that's all anybody wants because, like I said, it's in the approach. Now, if you talk to me like we're both adults and everything like that, I don't have not a problem with, anything that you might bring to me or whatever the case may be. it becomes a problem when more or less like you want to revert to kind of like you're talking to one of your children versus another full-grown adult. Well, ask yourself this question. How would you feel if I approached you like that?
Exactly.
It goes back to communication.
Yep.
Like, look, sweetie, I don't care for the attire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
Can we do something about that?
Yeah.
Now, if she gets combative, then we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah. If she get combative,
right.
then my words is, if I can't approach you the right way, then I'm just gonna approach you the hood way and say, listen, you look ugly in that. I'm gonna need for you to change. Or you can't go nowhere with me like that.
That's not flattering. That's not a good look on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Baby, you wear a size 20 and you squeezing in the size extra small. I'm going to need for you to fix that problem.
Exactly. Which I'm not trying to be funny, but having grown up being, a heavier female anyway, that was brought to my attention back many years ago. So it's like, my question is, how is it that conversation was had with me, but yet so many other females missed the memo, right? I don't grasp the concept.
Listen, as somebody who
mama make certain outfits and stuff in your size.
Come on.
Listen, as somebody who mama used to feed them for real, and I've always been a part of the little belly club.
Okay.
It is just certain things that I can't put on my behind and be out here, oh, this is cute, knowing I look like a whole banana peel.
Because I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't care how many pairs of Spanx, waist trainers, or whatever you strap to your behind. No offense, but I don't think you want to go the whole route of not being able to breathe, or whatever the case may be. I don't.
For an outfit that you could just buy in your size.
Okay.
And that's crazy work, because you have a lot of people with the mentality that think that everything they put on their body look good. Baby, that's called delusion. Even I in my full grown age understand that everything don't look right on me.
Right. Everything ain't for everybody. That's like dudes out here trying to wear muscle shirts and ain't got not a muscle inside.
Sis, you better stop, man.
Or my personal favorite, you 80 sagging. What is you doing?
Now that we got the good stuff out the way, let's go to reason why I'm not exactly happy and what really set me off. Now, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all my family, and I love y'all, and I respect what y'all say. You can let me know if I'm wrong or not. And I know my big brother, he has never been one to bite his tongue. Neither has my sister or my wife. So, for those that don't know, I recently started doing DoorDash. I love being my own boss. I love the freedom to drive. I don't really care that much that I'm in the cornfields all the time, but hey, I'm doing what I'm doing. It's just a little awkward for me. However, so I'm sitting at this particular McDonald's, and a bunch of young bucks, teenagers, get into a scuffle right in front of the McDonald's. That's not the part that made me mad, and really, I'm doing everything I can not to cuss. This is the part that ticked me off. When they heard the sirens, for those who don't know what 50 is, that is the police department.
Okay.
The police came flying in. The teenagers dispersed. Everybody went 4 different directions: north, east, south, and west.
Okay.
Here's where I lost it. A mother was sitting in the drive-thru of McDonald's, knowing that their child was part of that whole crew that was around watching these kids fight.
Oh, wow.
One was standing on top of the fence. One run to her car to get her cell phone to record this. 50 came in. Again, that's the police. They all ran in different directions. And before the police pulled up, her children, oh, God, help me here, jumped in the back seat of her vehicle, and she told them to keep their head down so the police wouldn't spot them. Go ahead. Ooh, that silence is deafening.
Now, I'll tell you.
I'm processing it.
As a person who has a daughter, even though my daughter is, well, she thinks she full grown, we'll put it like that. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, one thing I always taught my child, I will fight you like I will fight for you, right?
Yeah.
But if you out there creating mischief, there is a big word that a lot of people seem to lack in this generation, and it's called accountability. There you go. If you big enough to be out here involved in it, you big enough to stand before the police and say your part. If you think I'm going to let you in my car, you lying, because I'm going to lock every door. I'm going to put my car in park, grab you by your throat, and drag you to the police myself. And you better hope that the police take you, because if you was involved in this fight and you lost and tried to get in my car, oh, you going to have a whole nother problem if they let you come home.
Yeah.
Go ahead, because it's a whole nother part to this I haven't even begin to state. Y'all want to add anything?
No.
Okay. So, you ready for this other part?
Sure.
So, as she's pretending that the kids was in the car the whole time while she trying to order McDonald's, she's looking at everybody who's looking at her 10-carat crazy.
Yeah, because in her mind, she protected her kids.
Listen.
The ghetto mindset. This is why I say, God help us, because it's just some people who I know for a fact got pregnant on accident.
Wow. Okay, so which brings me to my statement of how I feel about a lot. Again, y'all can let me know if I'm wrong. But where I am in this whole situation is simply this.
Okay.
See, when stuff like that happens, you know, it's different from watching it on the TV than it is seeing it up close and personal.
Right.
When it's right there in your face, you feel a different kind of way. Now, this is how I saw this. What would have happened if they would have still been fighting? The police had to showed up, and while them two trying to hit at each other, they hit the police. And we all know police is trained to shoot.
Yep.
Right.
Then what's going to happen? She gonna be on the news, bawling her eyes out, talking about my baby, my baby. Black folks is gonna come out the woodwork. They gonna want to riot, burn stuff down.
Black Lives Matter.
All on social media and TV, talking about how the white man did this to a black child. I am a fully grown black man. I am 40 years old. I was born in 1985.
Oh, okay, honey, that's too much detail.
With that being stated, F your baby. I could care less. I have no sympathy. Because while you up there crying about your child, what was your child doing that led to the altercation for this cop? Our community's,
Exactly.
Our community's so quick to burn down our own crap, and we want to riot in the streets marching, but what they don't tell you on the news, that look, this little Negro was up there causing chaos up there fighting with somebody and was throwing stuff and hit the police. By every right, that man has a whole code to defend himself. Not just as a cop, but as a human being. Because if you hit me, how I was raised, if you're big enough to put yourself in a grown man's shoes, be big enough to take what that grown man gonna do to you in return.
Yep, that's just like recently, it was a situation where a little boy thought it was a good idea to be playing ding dong ditch on somebody's door. That little boy, unfortunately, is no longer here. Because he chose the wrong house and he played F around and found out. Now, the only thing that I could say that this person was wrong about is the fact that they actually chased this little boy down. However, you can't tell me the way whatever was put in this milk, half these kids do not look like kids.
Nope.
So he did not intend, and the parent like, oh well, I want to press charges up. No, why was your little menace to society?
Come on.
Out here playing ding dong ditch on somebody's door.
Exactly.
And you know that we live in a society now where people are trigger happy because you no longer have to have a license to carry.
Which was stupid.
So everybody is leaning on their amendment to shoot folks. So your little menace is out here playing ding dong ditch. And they don't know if you trying to break in their house or what they trying to do.
I'm glad you brought that up because y'all, I don't know if y'all seen it, but maybe a few weeks ago, it could have even been a month ago. But a homeowner was at his house. It was a late night.
Mm-hmm.
3 kids. He didn't know they was kids because their faces was covered up. 3 menaces to society tried to break in this man's house.
And he capped him.
You know what I'm talking about. You seen it. He shot one of them. I don't think that man needs to go to jail. Wasn't nothing about that racially profiled. That wasn't racially motivated.
He's protecting his home.
Exactly. 3 menaces to society tried to break in my house with my wife and kids here. I'm just going to say, come on in, guys. Let's sit down and have coffee.
If they want some coffee, I would have brewed some. But then we're gonna figure out why you in my house, because you know you ain't got that much time to live.
Exactly.
So the best bet, because we talk about the right to bear arms and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
What people don't understand is just because you don't have a license or you're not required to have a license does not mean that you are not held to the rules that require you to be a gun owner. Which means if someone is attempting to break into your home, you got to let them breach.
Yeah.
You can't just fire just because you hear something shaking. It could be the wind you shooting at.
But the man told him, and he yelled it loud enough. See, this is what I'm saying.
But that's a part of the law. He was supposed to.
I get it.
So he gave a warning.
But here's my problem with all of this. We have no problem with yelling, the white man did this, the Mexicans, the Chinese, or whoever. That's not... Please stop saying that. Please say, you know what, go home and be a parent. Raise your kids. Because I promise you, I'm still hot about that. I wish I love my daughter. I love all my nieces and nephews. Uh-huh. But and here's the crazy part. The line at McDonald's was long enough that she saw the whole entire situation. You mean to tell me you seen your kid over there in that bull crap, you let another child get their phone out your car to go videotape this crap, and when 5-0 come, You let them duck in your car and roll the windows up, and you cool with that?
Let's see, no.
No.
Because the way first of all, you wouldn't even been out there. Because if you supposed to be in the safety of my vehicle, why are you out here fighting somebody?
Now keep in mind, it's about 200 other races out there, and ain't nobody acting stupid but the Negroes. But yet we want to complain and whine, talking about we have the right to live in any neighborhood. I mean, I don't want you living next to me either. Coming over there with all that bull crap, y'all out there with all that nonsense. But yet you want to be on TV. My baby gone. Your baby needed to be gone. Because apparently you failed them as a parent. Which brings me to my next question. Is it okay to let your child, whether they top heavy or not, to wear coochie cutter shorts and brassieres that basically leaves little to the imagination where they stuff almost pop out?
Absolutely not.
Not at all.
What you teach, what you allow your child to do is a representation of who you are. If I allow my child, because we lost the value in age requirements.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, there was a level that you had to reach before you could do certain stuff.
Come on.
You could not wear red nail polish in my day until you became of certain age. Certain clothing you were not allowed to wear until you became a certain age. You were not allowed to date until you were 16 years old. You were not allowed to wear makeup until you were such and such an age. That kept kids as kids. Now, everything is out the window. We laugh and joke because, oh, my 5-year-old touched some little girl's butt. Oh, dap it up, son. That's what I'm talking about. So you have no idea that you're potentially raising a pedophile.
Speaking of that,
because you're not correcting this behavior. Because you think because this is a boy, this is acceptable.
Speaking of that,
Boys will be boys.
oh, I can't stand that. I never liked that.
I saw this. I read this post on Facebook a while back. It said basically what happened. This young lady was, going to school and everything, and one of her male classmates, more or less, kept snapping her bra from behind. She told him to stop. Okay, well, he didn't heed the advice or whatever, so she broke his nose.
Good.
She's good.
So the parents, her parents, his parents, ended up in the principal's office, and pretty much they were trying to suspend her,
Seriously?
Yeah. And more or less kind of like, Mobs was like, absolutely not. For the simple fact that she repeatedly told this young man to stop snapping her bra. And pretty much that was like, in other words, that was like sexual harassment, maybe like second degree.
And it was.
Whatever the case may be. Right. Well, he didn't heed the advice. So she told her daughter, he said, look here, you defend yourself by any means necessary. He didn't stop. So, so she said, okay, so basically what you're saying is you want to suspend my daughter for protecting herself after she told this young man to stop snapping her bra. Okay, so then I'll tell you what, if she ends up getting suspended, I'm going to press charges against him for sexual harassment.
Come on.
He was told repeatedly to stop doing what he was doing, but he effed around and found out.
Yep.
And that's the crazy part, because I remember when I was in junior high, and this little boy was good for chasing me and smacking me on my behind.
The wood.
I kept telling him, chill out. Because my name wasn't Fast. Okay? That I didn't find that giggly hee hee cute. Okay? Little boy wouldn't stop, so miraculously he got stuffed in the locker. I don't know how he ended up there.
I bet you don't.
Right.
But he was nicely stuck in the locker until the gym teacher made me let him out. He was suspended behind it. I just had to do detention because I put him in a prison that could have killed him. But that wasn't my fault. I told the principal, well, at least the locker had a ventilation on it.
Speaking of that, and I've been thinking about this for at least 2 months. And I think I've came to one solid conclusion, but I'm going to ask y'all and see what y'all think.
Okay.
Whew. We already know that the world is full of sick people. We know that there are predators out there. Why are we setting ourselves and our children up when they're already out there, but making ourselves their prime target and then play the victim?
Well, we kind of already touched on it, that big word of accountability. And nowadays, parents aren't fighting for children clothes anymore. Now you can't tell who's the adult
You can't.
who's the child.
No.
Because your child walking around in a see-through dress to prom and homecoming.
Just like like her mama.
And I'm gonna add to that because you also have to look back, take it back to okay, well, how were these people raised? Because one of the things you have to look at is if the person that now has children, like current age stuff like that, if they had strict parents and were restricted against doing certain things or whatever, any parent, I don't care who you are, at some point in time, you just said out loud, either out loud where others could hear it, or you said it to yourself, I'm not going to do it the way my parents did me. So if I was not allowed to wear skin-tight clothing,
I'm going to let my kid do it.
allowed to wear makeup, if I had to wait until I turned 16 to start dating, well then guess what? I'm not, I'm going to allow my child to do this, but now she out here walking around looking like she's grown or whatever when she ain't even wiped her butt good yet.
And the craziest thing behind that is that I used to think growing up that those rules were so strict. You can't do this. You can't do that until you get of age. But what I started to understand was it gave me something to look forward to. It also gave me a choice as to how I wanted to carry myself. Now, as a full-grown adult, where I can essentially, quote-unquote, do what I want, it's certain things I'm just not cool with because I'm not comfortable that way. I'm not going to wear something so tight that you can see my whole print and mess around and get myself a yeast infection because I want to be sexy.
Okay. But then you got to look at it like this, too, on the flip side of that same coin. And no, I'm not trying to give anybody a pass or anything like that, but look at it like this. And I'm just speaking from personal experience, but all I was told as a child growing up, well, when you get grown, you can do this. When you get grown, you can do that, or wait till, you wait till you get grown, wait till you get grown. So basically, for me, it was like, I felt like, well, dang, I can't do anything until I get grown and become a certain age. Well, if you're flaunting all of these things that you're telling me I need to wait till I get grown to do, flaunting it in my face, you're making it appealing and making me want to do it ahead of time.
Yeah.
What are you doing as a parent or as any responsible adult caregiver in my life? What are you doing to keep my mind off of this so-called grown stuff and keeping me in my lane until I get to that point in my life where I can do that and it's not a problem?
And I agree, because a lot of it is we don't want to talk to the child, but we just want to tell them no.
You want to dictate.
So you don't want to sit down and say, oh, well, baby, listen, I understand that your friends are doing X, Y, and Z. However, this is not appropriate because I'm trying to keep you as innocent as possible. When you explain stuff to a child and not just have that, oh, because I said so mentality, they're more apt to get an understanding whether they agree with it or not.
Because if I never hear that particular phrase in this again, I will not be disappointed.
Exactly.
You and me either. Because there's certain things I keep my hands off of. So I'll give you a prime example. When my daughter was coming up, the one thing she kept hollering was she wanted a tattoo. Okay?
You about to answer my question.
Now, I don't have a dog in the fight because I got 4 of them. My husband has none. So his mentality on it versus my mentality on it, if I took a stance and he took a stance, what was going to happen? We was going to have an argument about it, right?
Yep.
So instead, I just kept it as in, when she was a kid, I just kept it as in, I don't have nothing to do with that, okay? When she became of age, and she kept hollering, I want this, I want that. If you are a parent that is truly in tune with your child, then you understand that one of your jobs is to teach them the right way to go, whether you agree with it or not. So,
something that got my attention. You said when she became of age. How old were you when you got your first tattoo, and how old was she expected to be before she could do that to herself?
I was 21 when I got my first tattoo.
Same here.
Where you moved out the house?
Yes.
Okay.
She was 20.
Yep. She was almost 21.
Almost 20 years old.
No, yeah.
Yeah, right before her 20th birthday. But I took her to get her first tattoo. Because if I'm going to be your parent in what decision you make, because you're going to make it regardless, you're a legal age. But I want you to know the safety mechanisms, what you're signing up for. I don't want you to go to no backdoor Annie and then you end up with all kinds of staph infections, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
Now, did that lightweight cause an issue between my husband and I? Yes. But again, that's on the stance of he don't like tattoos, period. Okay? I had to explain to him, would you rather me have taken her or she get with one of these dumb little friends who think they know what they doing, and then we get in the call from the hospital that something wrong with our kid.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She has not gotten another tattoo since because she understands the one, my child is afraid of needles.
Yeah.
2, she liked to chew the hole in her shirt when she got it.
What?
Yeah, she literally liked to chew the hole in her shirt when she got it.
Okay.
But the point is, that itch is over. But as the parent, I was there to instruct and make sure she was safe.
Okay.
But that didn't come until she became of age.
Okay.
Never would I have signed off on something like that as a minor.
Right.
You got a lot of parents who feel like, oh, well, my child gonna do it anyway. So if they 12 years old talking about they want a nose piercing, I'm gonna sign off on it. No.
Listen, I kid you not. This past summer, before I left my job as a bus driver, we took the kids to this swim thing out not too far from here. This child, I'ma say somewhere between 8 and 12.
Okay.
This child got more tattoos than my wife.
Wow.
I kid you not. And I'm getting ready to name them. She got 4 on her left leg.
Mm-hmm.
She got a half a sleeve on her left arm.
Okay.
She's in process of getting, it looks like they might be getting ready to do her whole entire back. And she got I don't want to say it's a split sleeve, but it looked like 2 different tattoos with a space in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost wrapped around her arm. Now, I'm thinking that it's, them tattoos you get out the quarter machine and put on your body. Hey, listen, I'm black, so you got give me a little leeway. But then it dawned on me that this is a public swimming pool, and this particular place don't understand little bleach. That bleach is so strong in that water, you can smell it from the parking lot.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
That's how strong that bleach is. Now, they got 3 swimming pools. 1 outside, 2 inside. This child jumped off the landing into the water. She done went down the slide. She done went all the way up underneath the water for 2 hours. These tattoos ain't washing off. So I'm trying to figure out, again, it ain't clicking in my head. This is a real tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until she either got out to go get some nachos or went to the bathroom or whatever. And so where I was stationed at in the pool to watch my kids, she walked past. And that's when I saw it. I was like, oh. Now, here are the tattoos that this child has. One looked like a lion with horns with color. And the other one was like a thorn bush. Those 2 I can make out. But this was a big line on this child's arm. And I'm like, she ain't nothing but 12. Her mama didn't have no problem with it.
And again, goes back to my earlier statement. You have to take into consideration, how was this mother raised?
Yep.
What was she allowed to or not allowed to do in her childhood that makes it perfectly okay, for her not even teenage daughter to have all these tattoos?
Right. Now, I was mad, but I wasn't as mad as I would have been if she had been 12. Because had she been 12 and got a tattoo, y'all probably would be able to hear me from the state that y'all in.
But that's the whole thing, though. I personally, I believe in boundaries, but my style of parenting is a lot different from most. I am a firm believer of keeping the door open for communication. If you ask me a question, if you ask me if I did it, if I experienced it, I'm not about to lie to you. Why should I make myself look like a saint to deem you as a sinner?
I can't.
At the end of the day, if I did it, I did it. However, I'm going to give you the proper guidelines and instructions not to go down the road that I went down. That's the difference. You got a lot of parents that's encouraging this bad behavior. I'm sorry, babe. Your boyfriend can't spend the night at my house.
Speaking of which, I think I sent it to y'all. I don't know if you got it. You all right? Now, I'm trying to get this out, but this about to, I know it's going to make my brother mad, and probably my sister too. Video. It's on Instagram, Facebook, and it's on TikTok. A mother is downstairs. Her daughter texts her and asks her, can she make her boyfriend something to eat?
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, the mother comes up the steps. They laying in the bed underneath covers. Thoughts?
No, it's stages to this. So,
Would be some
unlike
flour
the
bringing.
first of all, I taught my child, and I can't speak for nobody else,
Ugh.
but I taught my child, you don't lay in a bed with nobody that ain't paid for a bed to put you in. Okay? In other words, if his mama bought it, you ain't got no business being in it.
It's her mama.
If that's his mama house or your mama house, you ain't got no business being in it.
But the audacity to ask her mama to cook her man something to eat.
That ain't her man, that's a boy.
Oh,
And then second off, ain't no dating.
yeah.
Ain't no dating in your bedroom.
Oh, listen.
I don't have no problem if you 14 years old. Okay, you think you got a little boyfriend. All right, cool. Little boy can come sit in the living room with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The living room, public space. Ain't no cuddling up on my couch. Ain't no sharing no blanket. Y'all better get some homework done and watch some doggone Caillou. And you better take your butt home before the street lights come on. We ain't doing that. But you got a lot of people. Oh, well, as long as the bedroom door is open. Do you know how sneaky kids are? Do you know how much stuff I was able to get done with the bedroom door open?
That's not happening.
Thank you. Do you?
No.
The bedroom door ain't got nothing to do with no closet door. It ain't got nothing to do with
the rooftop outside your bedroom.
Your
It's not
bathroom.
happening, period.
Yeah.
It's not happening, period.
So, I got another one because for whatever reason, this is a very large problem. This has been going on a lot more than 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
I need somebody to explain this to me. Alpha females,
No such thing.
are men afraid of them?
It's no such thing as alpha female.
Thank you. I've been saying that forever.
Because
The problem is a lot of men don't want to admit this, but I can't follow what you don't lead. If you are asking me to follow you, I'm not following you to hell. What is wrong with you? If you don't know how to be a leader, say that. Because you got a lot of men who think the only thing that makes them a leader is how much money is in their pocket.
technically, I only would disagree at this point. Society has put that on me.
And I was going there, you know. But we define provider in such a narrow box. A provider is not just somebody who can pay all the bills.
Mm-mm.
A provider is somebody who has emotional stability and intelligence.
Unemotional.
Who can understand and know your needs before you can even ask. And knows how to meet them. Who understands that he ain't got to rule with an iron fist to be the head of his household.
Ain't none of your friends'
But
business.
unfortunately, because child support and other government assistance and stuff has taken a lot of these men out of the household, nowadays men are not raising their sons, the women are.
Yeah, call me.
Okay.
So we're teaching men to run around, plant seeds all different places, and abandon every household. And then we're teaching women that it's their job to stand up and hold everything down. So when a man comes in, after being emotionally abused or manipulated or whatever the case may be. He don't know how to get a handle on life. He trying to navigate 500 different baby mamas and all these 500 kids. On top of trying to run your household and parent them, society has it backwards. We have to stop encouraging this stuff. We say, oh boy, it's okay. Go out and sleep with as many women as you want to until you find that one woman. And I'm as your mother going to encourage this because ain't nobody going to plant a baby on you.
Right.
If we don't have DNA, that ain't your baby. I don't care if you did sleep with her. But then we demonize the little girl and we call her everything in the book but her government name and the child of God in the same breath.
Exactly.
There is no balance. We don't structure our men to say being a leader is not about the tone of your voice.
Exactly.
And a leader is only as strong as his followers.
That's right.
Because if you cannot heed the advice of the people that are under you, how successful are you going to be in leadership?
Exactly. Because I will say this one in particular, for those of you that don't know, my favorite, one of my favorite TV shows is Family Feud.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we have everybody at the head, and naturally it was a gentleman that was, you know, the father and the husband, he was at the head, and then you had the other four behind him. Now, he was coming up with some stuff, but he listened to what his family had to say, and then, you know, okay, cool. Well, when it came to our folks,
yeah,
it was a female at the head. And when I tell you, her family members was coming up with all of the answers.
Wow.
For them to clear the board, for them to win the game, she decided to go along with her own answer, and they lost.
Wow.
Exactly. Because
and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, wow. Okay. So basically, you just more or less let the whole world, anybody that was watching this particular episode, know that can't nobody tell you nothing, not even your own family.
Yep. And my rule of thumb is always this. My husband's word is bond. He has the final say.
Yes.
However, as his wife, I am supposed to aid him in his decisions. Not tell him what to do, aid him. Because you got a lot of women who think that they just supposed to boss these men around.
Right.
A prime example is I'll say, he'll tell me, babe, I'm not comfortable. Okay, I'll give a prime example. A prime example is we are in process of getting new furniture. Okay. I showed my husband that I've been hearing him when he's been saying, babe, I don't want to create another bill. I don't want to create another debt.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Instead of going into my mentality with the, well, it's mine and I want it now, it was, okay, well, let me see where we can do something and purchase something flat out so that we're not creating another debt.
Right.
Okay? Now, somebody played us and they got social media blast, but we have found somebody else who's standing in good faith.
Okay.
I approached my husband with all of the information. And my word says, babe, what do you think about all this information I gave you? He said, okay, we can go that way.
Okay.
Not, babe, this is the decision I made, and you just go follow along with what I want.
Right, right.
And a lot of women get that messed up because Unfortunately, fathers are no longer in the home. Bitter women are raising daughters to be bitter.
Exactly. And you know what? This is just my personal opinion. This is just how I feel about this. But I think the reason why is so many bossy women out here is because, like you said, unfortunately, depending, some of them were actually raised up in single parent households. Who was the single parent that was raising them and telling them what to do and this, that, and the third, or whatever? It was mom.
Yep.
And everybody knows two women cannot rule the same household.
Come on. And
it's not
the
gonna
bitterness behind it because you mad because that man didn't stay with you. So now you want to condition your daughter to hate all men because of your downfall.
Can we bring that up? Can we bring that to the forefront? Why are bitter women training the child that daddy wasn't there for them and daddy don't love them?
Because it's easier to raise a child out of pain than it is to raise a child out of ownership. So it's easier for me to be angry and throw everything at you but the kitchen sink versus just telling you I had my fault in our failed relationship as well.
Oh, but wait a minute. And also let's add to that, if you will, the fact that depending, and sometimes age difference plays a part in it, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay.
But look at it like this. If that man already has a mother, what makes you think he wants to be bossed around by you?
And that part, because you got a lot of women who take on projects versus a man.
Oh, Jesus.
And then they want to turn around and raise another grown man and then get mad when you done made him the perfect man for the next one.
Exactly.
Because that's exactly what you're doing. If you take on this man knowing good and doggone well that he's still hurt, he ain't got over his past failed relationship, he holding you accountable for everybody that had ever hurt him in his life, and you take him and you like, oh baby, I'm gonna love you right. I'll fix your teeth like she did on Two Can Play That Game. I'll make you into the man, and then you get mad because he done took everything you done gave him on to the next woman.
Well, like I said, that's where you have to, that's where we as women have to say, oh, there's that word that we hate. Accountability. Take accountability for how did you treat him?
Yeah.
What made him want to just walk away from you and the child that you created together in the first place?
Yeah.
Now, was it that he already had some underlying issues and things that he needed to resolve and he wasn't ready, or whatever the case may have been? Or was it you were demanding and more or less it's my way or the highway, and he didn't, after a while, he tried to work with you because obviously it was something about you that attracted you to him in the first place, but after you revealed who you really truly were, after that mask came off, and he saw just what monster actually lied beneath you, hold on, like Steve Urkel said, I don't have to take this, I'm going home.
Now, I got a bomb to drop on you. You ready?
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know if I sent this to y'all. But let's see. There was a video. And I'm trying to figure out if it was on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. But it's still out there. I think it might have been TikTok I saved it on.
Okay.
But the man and his wife had a child.
Okay.
He worked night shift.
Okay.
He came home because one of the neighbors called and said that his baby is crying. So the boss let him go home early. He got to the house. I think he said on the video is about 11:16 somewhere between 11 and 11:30. I don't quote me. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
She was nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm.
The baby diaper soiled.
Ooh.
And he was hungry.
Okay.
Time lapse. I'm guessing he was there a whole 15 plus minutes. He had, in the video, he had called her multiple times. She come walking in the house at 12 o'clock. And she got mad at him because he said, I'm taking the baby and we leaving.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, this is where I say I don't condone violence, but the way she wouldn't have made it through the door without getting throw punched. Because explain to me why you thought it was a good idea to leave my baby at home by themselves in the first place.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, in the condition of being soiled and hungry. So you're creating a situation where my baby could have ended up with all kinds of diaper rash, all kind of infection.
You know what? I'm gonna stop you right there. For me, just the whole fact that you left that child by himself. That's what I'm stuck on.
Oh, I forgot one very important detail. You want to know what her excuse was?
Please.
She left him in what they call that rocket swing thing. You know, you put the baby in there and it swings automatically.
Okay.
She left the baby in front of the swing to watch cartoons because she needed to get some air. She needed a break.
You know what? Okay.
And the crazy thing about that is that when you make the decision to become a parent, do you not understand there is no such thing called a break in parenting?
Come on.
As a matter of fact, for the dummies who say, oh, at 18, I can finally live my life, they ain't grown at 18. Parenting does not stop
Ever.
until you take your last breath.
Yep.
Exactly.
So if you got the mentality that all you got to do is do an 18-year bid, baby, you in the wrong field and you should have kept your legs closed.
Now, here's the crazy part. Can I throw this in?
Sure.
It ain't always your kids you got to raise. Because what somehow, and I do mean somehow, the kids that started to have to re-raise the parents.
That's just called the cycle of life.
No, it is not my job to chase you down because you decided you don't want to answer your phone. And you had me.
No, it's called the cycle of life.
I'm not doing it.
Well, you have to remember the old adage is clearly states more or less like what is it? Once an adult, twice a child.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know. So while I can understand and appreciate the fact that, like, hey, I shouldn't have to do X, Y, Z, no, you know.
That's not it. First of all, if every kid in society took on that mentality, it wouldn't be no space in these facilities.
No.
Right.
Because ultimately, it does at some point become your child.
Yeah, it does.
Because, and if you are of the grown mentality and take on the understanding that while you may not agree
Right.
with how your parent raised you, the best thing that you can do is understand that they could only give you the tools that was given to them.
Mm-hmm.
Point taken.
Does that make it excusable? No.
No.
But at some point, you got to understand that your expectations as the child held in comparison to their expectation as the parent.
Yep.
Because a parent's mind is a whole different category from a child's mind.
Exactly.
So when you real life understand that they were failed,
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they messed around and didn't give you what you thought you deserved. Then you're able to go back and care for them in the proper way. Again, does not excuse the behavior.
No, not at all.
But it's a clear understanding that
if they were
can
failed,
only
they're
give
naturally
you-
going to
they
fail
can
you.
only give you what was given to them. Now,
Exactly.
you have some parents who truly believe, and I'm going to be honest, my mother was one of them. My mama fought against the grain all the time. She was not coming from the way she was raised.
Yeah.
But that was because she made a decision not to be the parent that her parent was to her.
Yeah, that's
And do
right.
you realize how difficult that is?
Man.
Very. Listen, you got 4 people on this live right now telling you.
Well, actually, just 3.
Right.
One had to take a pause. So.
Right. It is the most difficult thing that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 more questions for y'all. I'm gonna let y'all rest. Why are women the biggest threat to other women?
We're not.
You know why? Because it's like we get so caught up in competition. Does she look better than me? Does she dress better than me? This, that, and the third, or whatever. Do you realize it's like it's really not as hard as a lot of people may make it out to be. It's like I'm more prone to give a compliment than to criticize.
Yep.
You know? And it's like, for the life of me, I'll never understand why females feel it's so difficult to compliment other females. I got news for you, sweetie. If you're fortunate or blessed enough to have a man, not every woman wants your man, okay?
Say it louder.
So it's like, come on now. I don't, don't do that. It's like, it's like you too busy. It's like, who gave you a complex at an early age that has you feeling that more or less like you have to criticize and downplay your fellow sisters and stuff like that? It's bad enough that we have other races that talk trash about us.
Come on.
We have to talk trash about one another? Come on now, make it make sense, because it really doesn't.
Yeah, and the biggest thing about it is we are not a threat to other women. You are a threat to yourself.
Right.
In other words, if you look yourself in the mirror, I think every person alive finds something wrong.
Right.
At the end of the day, you got a choice. You can work on that. If you feel like you want to lose weight, lose weight. If you feel like you too skinny, bulk up.
Exactly.
It's ways to fix the problem if you feel like it's a problem.
Right.
But instead, you want to go about the mission of trying to tear everybody else down to make yourself feel better.
And you know what? 9 times out of 10, when you pinpoint that back, females that actually do that, 9 times out of 10, somebody somewhere, whether it was family members, friends of the family, or people that they hung with or whatever, somebody somewhere gave them a complex. Somebody somewhere used to talk trash about them and really just mess with their self-esteem to the point that now they figure they have to redeem themselves, by talking about it. Think about it. That's how bullying gets started. It doesn't just come out of nowhere. 9 times out of 10, the person that's a bullying somebody else's child or whatever, they've been bullied at some point in time.
Yep.
Somebody that made them feel bad about themselves, gave them a complex or whatever the case may be. So now, because they can't go up against the person that made them feel bad, because 9 times out of 10, that was probably a parent, grandparent, or other relative or family friend or whatever.
Okay.
The only way that they can redeem themselves and make themselves feel better is if they make somebody else feel worse.
Yep. And the thing about it is, what we don't want to acknowledge is your families are your first bullies.
Come on, somebody.
Because
Yeah.
it be
Oh,
like,
but try to tell them that.
right.
When I tell you,
Cause honey, listen,
Denial?
my grandmother is quick to be talking about somebody fat, somebody skinny, somebody
Yeah.
this, somebody that. She is quick for it.
Oh yeah.
And what I had to learn was to combat that by being like, and what are you?
All right. I got one more question for y'all, and I'm gonna let it go. So, apparently, again, another one of these special topics that I don't know where do these people come up with this stuff, but I wish they would stop. So, I'm trying to get it out. Lord help me.
okay.
Mama and daughter being with the same man.
No. Mm-mm. Not in this lifetime. Oh, no, baby. Mm-mm.
And this is a real thing. But here's the killer part. Don't nobody find nothing wrong with this.
Who don't find nothing wrong with this? No, darling. Absolutely.
When did this start? Who came up with this stuff?
What?
It's been going on for quite some time.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't said too much about it. I've heard different stories about it.
Right. No, I'm cool.
If that ain't the sickest stuff,
As a kid, but I've heard it.
if that ain't the sickest stuff I have never heard in my life. And they flaunting this stuff all over the place. Me and my mom got pregnant by the same dude. Huh?
Listen, I have 2 biological sisters, and both of them are, Lord forgive me, significantly older than me. If you think I want anything that to touch either one of them,
come on.
you got me jacked up. First of all, I understand the saying that sharing is caring, but there is boundaries to this.
Oh, God.
I don't want nothing that you done got on, that you done decided to play Matros Polis with, nothing. And because of the significant age difference, if any of they exes wanted me, that's child pedophilia.
I'm cool.
I don't want nothing.
Nope.
Oh, God.
And I only had one try that crap. And I told them, if you don't get your dirty away from me, you gonna meet your maker sooner than you intend.
Oh.
Cause we don't do that around here.
Oh, God.
I barely share my food, let alone my man. What the heck?
Come on. Hey, y'all know how I feel about my chicken.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Like, what is the flex behind that? Oh, well, like that just makes me throw up in the back of my throat. Because when I literally say there is a significant age gap between me and my siblings, there is a significant age gap between me and my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So to even think about one of their exes in that light is sick. And if they ever thought about me in that light, that is literally child pedophilia. Seriously.
Oh.
So I'm sitting around. These folks are senior citizens now.
Right.
And I'm going to them. And let's just say my oldest sibling is in their 50s. So you mean to tell me that I've been fantasizing about Pawpaw since I was 6 years old? Get out of here.
That's just a second.
I don't want your ex-gray hair penis. What the heck?
I'm done.
I'm ooh, that disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Oh, Jesus.
That is just, yeah, no.
I don't want nothing you had.
Oh, my Lord.
Or anything you got.
Nope, I'm whole.
Oh,
Because
Father.
you got folks up here having threesomes with their siblings.
Yeah.
This stuff is...
Like, yeah, like they mama, auntie, sister, child, all of them with the same person. I forget the doggone picture, but it went around some years ago. I don't know if it's still out there. A mama and a daughter, and the daughter's daughter, all with the same guy.
No, I'm good.
Okay, y'all went too far.
She said, you got to be too far. Oh, honey, huh? I'm good.
Like, listen, if you want to go to hell quickly, just put gasoline draws on and stay away from me.
Right, because I'm good. Very tough. That's just...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, apparently this is, it's okay in society.
Mm-hmm.
Society does not have a problem with this.
Yeah, okay.
And as I stated, man, this like, y'all keep talking about my baby, my children, and I'm going to go ahead and end it. But at the end of the day, the choices that we make
Mm-hmm.
is eventually going to catch up to us.
Exactly. You know what? Let's just go ahead and just call it what it is. That age-old adage.
Yes, ma'am.
What's done in the dark always
Which comes to the light.
no matter how hard you try to hide it.
Yep.
So come on.
And listen, on that note, you heard what my big sis said, and my brother probably stood in the back laughing. But on that, hey, listen, it's the fam, man. You know what we do. This is Unfiltered. We'll catch y'all. Peace out.
Peace.